Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for your time for joining us today. This is the Flip Collaborate for Assignment 1 Task 3 ePortfolio, which is due on the 5th of June at 9 a.m, so quite a while away. However, because you're going into placement and things are going to get really busy, it would probably be not a bad idea just to have a really good understanding of what the requirements are for the task, and also for us to have a conversation on Wednesday about any of the questions that you may have, so that while you're on placement you're able to really focus on the key ideas and things that you might need to capture as part of evidence. So hopefully this is helpful. We'll move on. Okay. So just a bit of an overview of where we're at, then we'll have a look at the ePortfolio itself and have a look at our Collaborate dates and how everything else is looking. So what's happening next? So just to sort of set the scene, we know that we're in the middle of the TP, and if you haven't already made contact with your school or spent a few days there, you're certainly going to be doing that in the next few weeks. So prepare yourself for an intensive but fulfilling and rewarding time while on your placement. And just to remind you that Kim and I are here to support you during the experience. Please stay in touch with us, so stay active on the discussion board, and that way we can collaborate with you, troubleshoot and celebrate your learning. So we want to know how you're going, so just stay in touch and capture all those really great things and maybe not so great things, and we can work through those together. So we'll have a look at the next assessment tasks we're covering before consolidation week, so that you have everything that you need. So this is what the assessment is covering as far as the standards. So we've got all of them, standards 1 right through to 7, and then over here we've got the focus areas. So that sort of breaks it down a little bit more. So standard 1, we're looking at 1.3. Standard 2, 2.6, information and technology. Standard 3, we've got 3.1 and 3.2. Just establish and challenging learning goals, plan, structure and sequence learning programs. Standard 4, managing challenging behaviour and how you go about doing that within the classroom setting. Standard 5, reporting on student achievement. Standard 6, identify and plan professional learning needs. Standard 7, comply with legislative, administrative and organisational requirements. I will once again post the PowerPoint for this so that you can see. I know some of the screen is missing, so that will be available. So each of the focus areas above provide the following. So you'll need to cover evidence from your professional experience, so one piece that you believe best demonstrates your achievement of the focus area within each standard. So your evidence may include, for example, screenshots of work samples, planning documents, photo, feedback from students, families, mentors, so something that you kind of capture that as evidence. A reflective statement for each of the focus areas that demonstrates why you have chosen the particular evidence and how it develops your understanding of the relevant focus area. Each statement should be approximately 1 to 2 paragraphs in length. Okay, so just keep that concise and just make sure that you've covered all of those areas. So just next slide. You can draw upon any of the work that you've provided for the first assignment tasks. However, we strongly encourage that you draw extensively upon the experiences you have had during the placement. So that's sort of going to show the growth and also that authentic experience. So the portfolio communities, which is the template that you're using, has gone through a rigorous selection and has been chosen as the ePortfolio tool. The support resources are located in Module 3. So if you haven't had a look at that module yet, I've got a couple of slides coming up as well that sort of gives you a little bit more information, but it certainly has all the things that you will need within it to actually put that together. So have a look at that. So it's just a couple of things to notice though. There is a 1 gig size limit, so please be selective in the evidence that you choose. You're required to collate your evidence reflections in the Portfolios Communities tool, so you need to have everything there. Once again, please refer to Module 3 in this unit for all the information and support that you will need for using the tool. If it's your first time using Portfolio Communities, you also need to download and save the ePortfolio template file. So for some of you, you may not have done that yet. If you have any trouble, just let us know. And just a reminder here not to embed any videos in the portfolio. If you want to use video, just put a link to YouTube or Vimeo and then pop that into the document that you upload. So there is a word limit. Difficult to measure for the type of assignment. You are required to produce no more than the equivalent of one A4 page length for each piece of evidence. Using first person is fine when referring to your personal views, and third person when referring to literature. So we expect a mix of that. Using citations, you're expected to draw upon the unit learning materials to support your reflective statements, as well as scholarly literature found beyond the unit. Each reflection requires a citation of scholarly literature. So just make sure that you embed the context and the reading and some sort of reference that is using a citation. No prescriptive maximum limit on how much you cite. If the literature you cite is relevant and adds value across reflections and standards, then it's okay to reuse them. Okay, so that's practical. It's sort of, we're expecting to see some sort of connection between the standards, and if the citations that you're using are going to support that, well then that's quite okay. The use of technology is important in ICT, and learning technology is a critical skill, so that's something we'd also expect to see. So there's been some changes in the assessment requirements, slight variations for instructions from previous units, specifically when you may have previously submitted 1 to 2 reflections against all the focus areas. You are now required to submit 1 piece of evidence and 1 reflection for each focus area. So in some ways that's easier because there's less to do, but it also means that you need to be quite specific about what you choose and how you can include all the wonderful work that you've achieved. So that probably will be a little bit challenging. So we can have those discussions as we go. So this is just from Module 3, just to give you a bit of a guide if you haven't had a good look. There are a couple of examples that you can have a look at. So we've got Ashley Shinney's portfolio, Lorena Van de Vel's ESL portfolio. So they're probably not too bad to refer to just to get some ideas of structure. And then you've got a question and answer area for us to refer to if you have any other questions. There's a quick guide for creating your ePortfolio as a download that you can do, and a troubleshooting guide. So please refer to those if you need further support. And then for the upload, you need to submit a URL for the task. So as in the other 2 tasks in the assignment, the marking is strictly on a pass-fail grade. And just also keep in mind that the task is due in week 12, so the feedback will be limited in its use for you. So we really suggest that you make use of the question and A section as you're progressing through the task. So that way we can at least support you with what sorts of provisions and things that you can include. Because once you get your feedback back in week 12, it's the end of the teaching period and probably not as useful as, something that you can put into practice. So the first 3 modules of the unit are designed to help you gather evidence to place in your portfolio and critically reflect upon those. Okay, so the criteria. So this is what we'll be looking at when we're assessing your task. You've got make sure that the portfolio demonstrates the following criteria, each relevant focus areas and standards. So that's 1 to 7. So the selection of evidence, 1 piece of evidence has been included for the relevant focus area. The evidence is both relevant and appropriate to the focus area of the standard. The evidence shows a satisfactory level of competence in strengthening your understanding of the focus area of the relevant standard. Then we're looking for the reflection of focus area thinking through the evidence, making those strong links, a reflective statement which accompanies each focus area. Clear connections have been made to the evidence and focus areas that explain the importance and value of evidence that you've included. And then supported by scholarly literature when possible. Okay, so then pertinent to all 3 tasks, the work is clearly expressed in an appropriate style. Care has been taken to ensure accuracy, punctuation, spelling, and that's with every assessment that you hand in. An appropriate blend of quotation and paraphrasing is used, and you've got a accurate APA reference list. Okay, so they're the things that we'll be looking for. So, next steps. We have our question and answer collaborate session coming up on Wednesday at 7:30. So hopefully you can join both Kim and I. And then the following week is your consolidation week between the 24th and the 30th of April. So we know that you'll be working in schools by then. Certainly if you aren't, you'll be very close. We will be in touch, so you can still contact us. We'll be here to support you as much as we can. Looking forward to talking to you on Wednesday. Thanks for your time, everyone.